Alrighty, hopefully we're coming on live 4 or 5 seconds in. Give me a thumbs up if you hear my audio. It says hopefully microphone's good. It's going to check a couple of things. Then we'll start the live stream, and while we're waiting, I guess I'm just going to be waiting, doing a couple other things and waiting for more people to arrive, but feel free to comment to the live comment section if you are watching this currently. Typically, during an OS review, I do not have the live chat open. I only have it, on my screen. Obviously, if you're watching this, you have the live chat off to the side, but I have to open up the live chat on my phone. Sorry if that's confusing. Library. I'm watching. Cool, bruh. Alrighty. Maybe it's just myself watching, I don't actually know. Two watching now. Alrighty, wait. It says on my phone that we've got 2 people watching now. So we will get started, I guess. Because I am all set. I got OBS running, so it's live streaming, it looks like. And it looks like frame rate looks good. I'm running at 30 frames per second on OBS. I have the live stream open on my phone. Looks like nobody's commented so far. I wouldn't imagine anybody would want to comment when we've only got 2 people watching. And one of those could be just myself. But we'll get started on the video. I don't want to wait forever. So the topic for this video will be Pop! OS. So Pop! OS is something I've been testing out on a virtual machine for few days now, definitely. I haven't tested it every day, but I've tested it like a few days ago. Some of you may have seen my live stream last Wednesday, and that, I think it was Wednesday, yeah. But that was a flop, so I didn't, there was a weird glitch where it just, like, I suddenly stopped recording, and luckily someone let me know, like, right away, or my phone told me right away as well. But other than that, hopefully this live stream will go much better. I'm not using a scheduling plan this time. I think it's that schedule thing. One of the schedule and extreme feature is what kind of interferes with my live streaming. So no schedule. So that's probably why you did not get a notification for this live stream. So today we'll be talking about Pop! OS. This is a fairly new OS by System 76. So I've talked quite a bit. I shouldn't say a lot, but I've definitely made a couple of videos on Ubuntu 17.10. One is a regular video and the other is a live stream. And you can watch them and you can tell that, like, I liked Ubuntu 17.10. But you can definitely tell that I just found that had some rough corners, and just there are some things about it that really bugged me. So, like, you can talk about the bad, like, Ubuntu Software Center, or also known as GNOME Software Center, has some pretty bad software indexing, and Ubuntu dock, like their new dock that they now ship with, GNOME cannot be easily disabled. I haven't done a whole lot of research on the second point, but, like, I tried to disable it, and they're, like, in the extensions menu, and it was this weird thing where it said disabled even though it's enabled. So I don't know what they're trying to do, but it looks like they're trying to make it a pain in the butt again, just to disable the dock, which is pretty annoying. I'm trying to remember what else. There's a few other things. You can probably go and watch the live stream. I liked it, but it was also definitely for a release candidate, which is gonna be very similar to the stable, or is very similar to the stable. I was fairly unimpressed, and I guess you could also say the theming was ambience and meh, it's not that great. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about Ubuntu 17.10 because that is not the point of this video. Today we'll talk about Pop! OS. Pop! OS is developed directly by System 76, and I think the main reason they created System 76 created Pop! OS is so that they can have their own distro for their own laptops. Or if you don't know what System 76 is, I have a link right here. This is just one of their laptops. So you can see that they make laptops, desktop, server, and now they're making their own fork of Ubuntu. Ubuntu. I know there's gotta be someone commenting like, you're pronouncing it wrong. I don't care. I don't really participate in the pronunciation battles as long as it's not 100% wrong, because I've seen some really weird pronunciation of names where I'm like, okay, nobody says that. GNOME, Linux, no, don't pronounce it like that. There's probably gonna be someone in the comments now, I'm triggered because I pronounce it like that. Anyway, yeah, System 76 creates some really good laptops. I almost considered getting one myself, but they were just a bit too pricey compared, like, even to ThinkPads. ThinkPads can be a little bit on the expensive side as well, but ThinkPads still have a better value when you combine them with their warranty compared to System 76. But I will say they do make some really good ThinkPad-esque like laptops and desktops. And it's bundled with their own OS now. It's going to be called Pop! OS, so this is very new. Or you can also still get Ubuntu LTS, although I'm not sure how long this is going to last for. I think they're just providing it as like an alternative for now, but I don't know if they will keep that in the long run. Probably not. Anyway, so yeah, Pop! OS developed by System 76. So you're probably wondering like, okay, so like what's the big difference from Pop! OS to just Ubuntu 17.10? Like it's a fork of it. It's still using the GNOME desktop, and I was pretty skeptical at first when I tried it in a virtual machine. I was like, this is essentially just gonna be a skinned Ubuntu 17.10. But there are definitely a few things about it that I really liked compared to the normal Ubuntu 17.10. And there are definitely some things that make it different from Ubuntu 17.10. I think for now in the video, instead of saying Ubuntu or Ubuntu 17.10, I'll just refer to it as Ubuntu. And Pop! OS, well, instead of Pop! OS 17.10, I'll just refer to it as Pop! OS, just so I don't have to say a bunch of redundant phrases over and over again. So okay, Pop! OS. Am I still live streaming? Good. Hopefully. So now that I've talked about Pop! OS and System 76, I can actually show you the OS. Or when you go and download it, this is one important thing. Is that instead of, well, first things is it's not really that like big of a deal, but they only provide 64-bit images. I'm not sure if any of you care for a 32-bit image. Even Ubuntu now doesn't have an official build for 32-bit, but you can still get it with other derivatives. But so it's not a big deal to me to have a 64-bit only image, especially since GNOME is not designed for 32-bit platforms, at least from what like I have experienced. And then typically, this is the weirdest part, is that you download based on the graphics you have. You have download Intel AMD or download NVIDIA, which is pretty cool. I haven't actually, well, for one, I don't have an NVIDIA machine, so I can't really test out the NVIDIA image. And also, the Intel AMD image is what I downloaded for the virtual machine. So if you're using a virtual machine, go for the Intel AMD image unless something otherwise happens. But yeah, Intel AMD is compatible with VirtualBox. I don't think NVIDIA is, unless someone might tell me I'm wrong, but I don't think it is. Nevertheless, it's kind of cool to have it be determined by graphics rather than just 32-bit versus 64-bit. Very interesting choice. Probably a way I would prefer it, so that way you don't have to go through driver hell. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to VirtualBox. So, like I said, I am doing a virtual machine. And one thing that was nice about it is I was able to get the VirtualBox Guest Edition drivers working with it. I was a little bit worried at first, but I needed to get the latest Guest Editions for it to work with this, because it wouldn't work with the regular ones. I think it was weird because it's a kernel thing. I'll show you in a second though. So I'm gonna start Pop! OS. Okay. Oh, just some Pop! OS. Give it a second to start up. It's a little slower because it's a virtual machine, but I did make sure my VM has some horsepower to it. I give it 2 cores, the 3.5 gigabytes of RAM. You know the deal. If you've watched my other videos. I'm going to go full screen. Hopefully this does not affect the screen recording. I'm going to watch to make sure that my screen recording isn't affected. But you can see here, I'm going to log in. But right before I log in, I'm going to show you something very interesting. So, if you tried Ubuntu 17.10, you know that Wayland is by default and Xorg is a secondary option. On this distro, they've just decided to do Xorg only, which isn't, how do I want to say it? Xorg has been the default one bundled for years now. That's interesting to see. Although many other distros are shifting towards Wayland, this one is sticking with Xorg. And I think it's probably a graphics driver thing, because I forget which manufacturers. Intel definitely works, and then I forget whether AMD or NVIDIA works. Yeah, not every graphics driver works with Wayland currently. So I think they've just wanted to use Xorg just to remain compatibility. And that's very important, because I'm not sure, even though Wayland has been out for a while, Wayland support is still kind of mediocre. So I think they just wanted to have a display manager or display server that had compatibility. So I bet there's gotta be people complaining that it only ships with Xorg. But I really do think that Xorg is probably the best option, at least for now. In the future they might switch, but you could see with Xorg, VirtualBox drivers work if it'll load. It does take a second to load. Alrighty, there we go. You can see animations briefly. You saw the animations work. So I think I've done a couple of tweaks to this, but so far this is probably what you'll be greeted with when you log in. It's this very simple GNOME desktop. So you can definitely see here. I don't really know how to explain this one. It just looks like your ordinary, almost like your ordinary GNOME desktop. Obviously, they've added their own wallpaper collection. And you can probably, this is probably one of my least favorite wallpapers out of the collection yet. For some reason, it's the default. But you can change it. I just want to show you guys the default. I like this one for some reason. I'll say select. Whoosh. There you go. So yeah, they have a decent collection of wallpapers. I'll open it once more just so I can scroll through it. Decent. Looks good. Haven't tried every single one, but I like this nature mountain one quite a bit. And yeah, I really like it. Alrighty. So I'm gonna close that for now. But I will probably get back to it because the settings manager, this is really like both in Ubuntu and on Pop! OS, just because they're both relying on the same GTK, GNOME, whatever. But their settings have definitely been revamped. Well, I can talk about that a little bit later. Anyway, so probably the difference that you can definitely tell is definitely the skinning job that they've done. And I know this probably isn't a big deal for most people, and it isn't a huge deal for me considering I know how to kind of skin, kind of change the appearance of the distro, like add custom icons. But they've really done a nice job here. You can see here that I can open the applications menu, and you can see here that they've definitely done a good job with custom icons. One of the main things that I guess they're kind of advertising with Pop! OS is that there isn't a whole lot of applications out of the box, and they're doing that intentionally, mostly just for user choice. So instead of a bunch of bloatware being on your system when you prefer other apps, you just install the ones you like. And that's kind of the philosophy that I really like, is just having a minimal distro and just installing the stuff you want to use. Because I know like some people use Firefox, some people use Chrome, and then there's other applications, Emacs, Vim, whatever, that are in there that people have differing opinions on. So I usually just like the minimalist user choice approach, so you can just install what you want. Anyway, but I guess I will pop out a couple things. And one of the things I did not like about Ubuntu is that the GNOME Software Center doesn't really have the best indexing tool. It was such a pain to install the GNOME Tweak tool on 17 or Ubuntu, because for some reason I kept searching GNOME Tweak tool and it just would not pop up, or tweaks or GNOME tweaks or whatever. It just would not pop up in the search. And then for some reason after I installed it, like GNOME Software Center was like, "Oh, you installed GNOME tweaks." I'm like, "Yeah, I tried searching for you and then you didn't show up, so I just went the command line route." But anyway, so this is what they bundled with. They rebranded it as the Pop Shop. I don't know if that's a reference to something or whatever. But some of you elementary fans might recognize this. So this is actually a rebranded version of the Elementary Software Center. And I really like the appearance of the Elementary Software Center. Definitely have some nice categories here you can take a look at. Updates. I have some updates currently. And then I can go and search something, and I was just like GNOME tweaks, and I was like, boom, right there. Nothing tricky at all. And I was able to install it, and boom, got the thing. Nice and simple. It's really just how I like it. Instead of the pain that GNOME Software Center is. And you can see here that I can go into GNOME. I can't type today. GNOME Tweak tool. Oh cool, someone commented. Shater. I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Hello, Retro Linux Gamer and everybody else. Hello. I'm glad you're here. I was a little worried because I'm like, I feel like I'm halfway through this live stream and nobody has joined. Probably a little under half. I probably still have a bunch more to ramble about, because I feel bad because it's because why my videos occasionally get super long is because I really know how to ramble, which can be a good or bad thing. Take it as you like. And I really know how to say because like I keep stalling like when I go from topic to topic. Anyway, GNOME Tweak tool. So you can see here, this is probably it's probably what you usually see in GNOME Tweak tool. So nothing really major here. Like it's not bundled with it, just like other distros. and it's the same thing. But one thing I will point out a couple of things. So first of all, is the global dark theme mode actually works. As I remember, for ambience, it did not work. So I'm going to show you the global dark theme, which works with Pop! OS. So one thing I found is it doesn't work at first, as it says applications need to be restarted for this change to take place. I will get to your question shots here. I just want to show something. And I'll open up the file manager. You can see here it has this cool dark theme. And I know on my desktop, I usually have light themes, but I'm also a really big fan of dark themes. I don't know why. I really like them both. I switch between them back and forth. You can see some of my videos have a dark theme, and some of my videos I have a light theme. Anyway, so yeah, global dark theme now, I'm happy that works compared to regular Ubuntu, because ambience for some reason doesn't have a dark mode, which is frustrating. Alrighty, what are your feelings on this tailored Ubuntu with Pop theme? Don't know exactly what you're asking. Are you talking about how I feel about this distro? My whole video is explaining why I actually really like this distro compared to just regular Ubuntu. But if you're talking about the theme, I think they've really done a good job with the theme. I think the only thing I'm not a huge fan of is I'm not a huge fan of the orange look. Let me turn off global dark theme because it kind of interferes with the actual theme. Let me go to files. Hopefully no. Man, it's being flaky now. Hold on a second, guys. It might take a desktop restart. File manager. There we go. Okay, because this is probably the best applications where I could talk about the theme, and I really kind of like the mix of light and dark elements. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is definitely the orange highlighting. It's kind of a weird option. Then you have these blue folder icons. And I think that's the only thing I kind of don't like about the theme. The actual theme is really good. They've styled it much better than I think Ambience has. And I think it's just because Ambience is an extremely dated theme. Granted, they have updated it for GTK3. So if you do like Ambience, good for you, you're in luck. It'll work with GTK3 along with GTK2. But I think Pop! OS was definitely striving, I don't want to say for a material design look, but just a fresh, modern look. And I definitely like the look they're going for. Color scheme is kind of but I definitely like where they were going with the theme. But the thing is, GNOME has so many, I've only left side audio from you, probably your mic issue or OBS. It might just be as I'm leaning towards the left side. I forgot. Woo! Definitely says audio input capture. But it doesn't say anything about left side versus right side. Settings, filters, no filters. I might just need to back up from the microphone a little bit. This is just from my laptop microphone. I don't know why it's only recording the right side, or the left side, you said. Man, sorry, I've been talking a little while now. My throat's getting a little bit sore. Don't know. Let's see. Bye. It's testing both sides. Good. Looks like both sides are working. I think I just need to back up from the microphone a little bit. Sorry, I definitely was leaning to the left side a little bit because the microphone on my laptop is on the center. So that's probably why. Whoa, I just minimized it accidentally. If it's still on the left side, I'm sorry. It's probably just an OBS issue that I'll have to kind of fix the kink of. Man, I hate when it does that weird glitch thing. Anyway, so back what I was talking to. So I was definitely talking to about the theme, and I definitely do like the theme. Like chat. Are you watching? Cool. So yes, definitely like the theme. GNOME. I still want to keep GNOME Tweak Tool open, but I only closed it because for some reason it was interfering. And I can also close elementary apps, and let's see, it looks fine. File manager. Anyway, but yeah, I probably in the future I really want to tinker with this virtual machine, mainly for like GNOME themes, because I've been looking like over at websites like GNOME Look, and I don't know why, but the themes are looking really good now on GNOME desktop. I don't know if it was just because of the recent like versions of GNOME, because like I feel like a lot of the themes that like are like GTK 3.20 up look really awesome. So I'm looking at something. Okay. So a couple of things. So I know people like keep saying this is a skin. I'm gonna give you a brief summary. So I'm getting like someone saying there's like it just looks like a skinned version of Ubuntu, and in a sense it is. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna really defend them and be like it's an entirely new distro. I know it's based on Ubuntu, and I know it's very similar to Ubuntu, but there were definitely a lot of rough corners, and there's just things like Wayland versus Xorg. Wayland just doesn't have the compatibility yet that Xorg does. Then there's the Ubuntu dock they just can't get rid of easily, even on their GNOME extension respin. And then there's just the Software Center, which is just, it's not that, GNOME Software Center has bad indexing, and luckily they've included the Elementary Software Center, which I find is much more superior. But yeah. Anyway, I will take a look at the OBS settings. I thought I had working settings, but I will look a little bit later. Okay, desktop. You can do desktop icons like in Ubuntu. I'm just not a desktop icons guy, so I suppose I can right click that or left click that off. No, yeah, they're totally off. I don't know. I usually have them off. And then we got a decent amount of extensions here. I shouldn't say a decent amount. For like just pre-built in isn't a whole lot. I'm just happy that they didn't include like some weird extension. Yeah, someone said don't try Wayland until it becomes that much stable. Yes, if I'm understanding what you mean, I do agree. I'm pretty much gonna be sticking with Xorg. That's my plan, is to stick with Xorg until like Wayland like just has like 100% compatibility. Like I want to know that works with Intel, AMD, NVIDIA. I want to make sure like not only drivers, but I want to make sure it works with all applications. Like whether it's just your ordinary GTK applications, your Qt applications, emulation, games, and I just have a hard time believing that they ported all of that to Wayland, because that's just a whole lot to port over. And I suppose I could probably do some tests in the future to see if it does any better, but I definitely have my worries, so I'm probably gonna be sticking with Xorg. And it's funny, I am subscribed to the Reddit Ubuntu, the Ubuntu subreddit on Reddit, and there's already people complaining. They're like, this application doesn't work, and people are like, switch to the Xorg mode, and they're like, thank you, it worked now. I'm not kidding. There's stuff on the Reddit Ubuntu subreddit that's just really, yeah, it's that time of year again on the Ubuntu subreddit when we get our complaints. Okay, so fonts, and then this is one of their other things other than their theme is Fear Sans. I thought it was developed by Mozilla. Correct me if I'm wrong, because it could be developed by someone else, I suppose. But I thought it was Mozilla. Oh, they might have their own thing. Keyboard or mouse. I don't usually mess with that stuff because it usually works fine out of the box. Power. Setup applications. Top of bar. New. Oh yeah, I don't know if this is probably in all others, but I like having the battery percentage up there. Whatever. I'm gonna switch it to static. Static I would really like more. Let's see here. Anyway, this is not gonna be a guide of GNOME Tweak Tool. I'm gonna close that. So I just want to check something. Okay, so just reading through the comments briefly. I don't really know if there's a whole lot more I can really talk about this distro, because it's just not that much different from Ubuntu. I'm just trying to think about if there's anything else. There's probably ought to be something, like, I always, like, after a live stream, I'm always like, oh shoot, I should have talked about that. And the only other one, not strictly to Pop! OS. I don't know why, but, like, I didn't realize that the weather app, like, actually, it works really nice. I was really surprised. And you can probably get it on Ubuntu too. So I'm not that, I'm not all that, it's not all that special. But I was pretty impressed. Whoa, admit it finally. Dude. I think I've explained, my whole video was to explain, like, I was skeptical at first that it was just gonna be a skin on Ubuntu. And I've literally discussed this whole video why it's pretty, it has its very big differences. And yet you're still commenting like, oh, it's just a customized Ubuntu. Yes, I understand you can create your own distro. I think I've done it before in the past. Yes, I know you can throw on a skin and whatever, but, like, I'm just saying that there's some major reasons why you'd want to consider this one over just regular Ubuntu. So yes, I know it's just a customized skin. I understand that, but there are some major reasons why you'd want to consider this over Ubuntu. So yeah, I understand that's technically not its own operating system. I'm not that stupid. But it's just, what more can I say? Yes, it is pretty much a skin, but it's a very interesting skin that System 76 has designed. Well, what else can I say? Is there something that you want me to show you? Like, I've discussed multiple things. I think that's pretty much all I really want to show you guys who are watching. But other than that, you can look through the applications here. I think I'm just gonna shut down the VM. But it is a pretty cool distro / skin of Ubuntu. So I'm gonna shut this down. Okay, shut down. I think that's the only problem I've had with this virtual machine occasionally, is occasionally he'll get like a stop job warning. So I don't know if you'll get that on a regular normal platform. I'm just gonna, I've seen this before, and I don't suggest you ever power down like a real computer, because you could actually corrupt data. But occasionally I have to do this to a virtual machine where I just have to be like, close, power off. So yeah, I know it's probably pretty cruel to the virtual machine. Anywho, here's videos. Alright, thank you. Alright, so I think that'll pretty much be the end of this stream. I really hope you did enjoy the stream. I know it's a bit of a weird stream, considering I know like this isn't a real distro. Or I kind of think they made some interesting modifications to it, and I consider it a real distro, but that it's kind of subjective opinion. I understand that some people think that's still a skin of Ubuntu. And in a different way, I do think it's kind of a skin of Ubuntu. But the theme that they put into this is actually really good, and they've definitely made some tweaks that really make it like round the rough edges of Ubuntu. Notably, like they don't include the weird dock by default that like when you could just install dash to dock, and that'll be a whole lot more customizable. But other than that, I will see you guys later. Oh, I feel bad that TechBismo just arrived here. If you have any questions right now, I'll still answer them. Shout out to TechBismo, I guess, because I feel bad that like I went through this whole video. And then like at the end of the video, TechBismo arrives. Anyway, I don't know, TechBismo, did you create your... I've been live streaming for a little bit now, so, and I haven't checked my YouTube stream in a while, so did you create your elementary OS video yet? Or not yet? Other than that, I'm probably just gonna have to wrap up. 3 people watching, that's a decent amount. Alrighty, I think I'll end the stream here. Because I don't think there's gonna be... It looks like most people have left this stream, and it's probably a good time that I leave. A couple of young guys like you, but inactive for a long... yeah, I definitely have heard... I'm trying to remember their names now. Yeah, there definitely were a couple of young peeps. Someone talked about them before. And they've definitely been inactive for a long time, but I just don't remember their name anymore. Take care and have a good one. You too. Hope you really enjoyed the live stream. I feel, I'm really happy that people, whether they agree with me or disagree with me, that I'm really happy that you joined the live stream. But anyways, I don't know when I'll have another video soon. Hopefully a little not far away. I usually try and publish every weekend or so. I think if I try a little harder, I could try and get Sorry, sore throat. Probably could get a little more content out there, but usually for now I always just try and do every weekend. So maybe I'll publish a video during this weekend, and who knows. Looks like the live chat is fairly chill now, so I think I'm gonna stop streaming. See you later, guys.